Good day everybody, welcome to the Garmin Fenix 7 Pro tutorial series. In this video I will assume you know the basic functionality of the watch and know how to access all the relevant menus. If you are unfamiliar with the watch controls, please go to the overview video first. You can either click on the card at the top right or follow the link in the description below. Now on to the topic at hand. Let's do an overview of the activities on the Garmin Fenix 7 Pro, as that is likely the reason you have this watch. More in-depth details will be added in later videos. Keep in mind that my watch has been used for a couple of months, so nothing is default anymore. Okay, so we're going to press the start button to go to activities and apps. Here we find the list of activities and apps on your watch. The first set of activities will be your favorites. You can move any activity into your favorite group for quicker access. If you scroll down, you will find a divider. These little 4 circles here. All the activities below that divider is activities that you can still use and activate, but it's just not part of your favorites. Only items on this list or your favorite list can be used. If you want to use an activity, you need to add it to either your favorites list or this list here. On the Garmin website, you can find the complete list of available activities you can add to this list. So to add an activity to the list, we need to go to the bottom and select Add. When you press it again, you will see the activities are sorted in categories. I don't like that very much. I would have thought that it would be better just to put all the activities on here in alphabetical order, but this is how it is. So let's say we want to add another running activity. We press running. Then we're going to choose, let's say, run an ultra. Once you've selected that, you can move it up and down to where you want to add it. So you can either use up and down buttons or scroll with your finger. This is the favorite part, and I can even go down and put it on the part that is not favorite. Let's put it down here just below treadmill. Press start to drop it, and now it has been added to my activity list. You can see if I exit to my watch face, and I can go back into my activity list. If I scroll down, just below treadmill will be ultra run. Now to edit an activity on your menu level, you need to scroll to that activity and hold the menu button. So this button here in the middle. So I'm going to hold that. Then I get a few menu options. So I can go into the settings of that activity by pressing start or clicking on it on the screen. I will go through all these settings in a different video. The second option we've got there is training. Training will add workouts to that activity, and navigation will add navigation options to that activity. I will go into detail on the training and navigation in a different video, otherwise this one will be too long. Now, due to that activity not being set as one of our favorites, we can just press this button and we'll go up to our favorites. So here it is above that little divider, and we can choose where to put it. Let's put it at the bottom. Let's go back into the menus. Remove from favorites. Obviously, once it's a favorite, remove from favorites. It just takes it down below that divider. Copy activity will copy that settings as it is for the activity onto a new one, which you will then rename. So if you've got two activities that's quite almost the same, but there's slight differences in it, and you don't want to change the settings every time before you do that activity, you can make two of them. So sometimes you use the one, sometimes you use the other one. Then we can reorder the app, so you can just reorder it in the list of where it is. So if we click that, it will just allow us to reorder it. You can even take it down below to your non-favorites. Drop it down again. Let's go back into the menu. Last one is remove app from list. This will just remove it from the list of your activities that you can currently use. You will always be able to add it back on from the complete list of activities available on the Garmin Fenix 7 Pro. So if we remove it, we see it is gone. Let us do an activity now. Press start to go to the activity menu. Scroll up to highlight the activity you want to do. So let's just do a normal run, and then you press start to select that. First will come up some suggestions if you have suggestions selected on your watch. So your daily suggestion will come up, or if you are busy with a Garmin coaching session, the coaching session suggestion will come up there as well. You press the start button to do that workout. If you want to skip that and do something else for yourself, you just press the back button there. This brings us to the activity menu. On the top there, you will see scrolling through and flashing will be some time and battery information. It will first give you the time of day, then it will give you the charge left on your battery, and then that 18 hours will tell you how long you can do this activity for continuously on the battery charge you have at the moment, and also the settings for that activity at this stage. Right below that, we've got that green bar. That is your GPS connection status. So at the moment it's connected because it has connected while I was talking, but if you start the activity, you will see that it starts out red and not fully full. That means it is trying to connect to GPS. I'm indoors, so it doesn't take that quick for me to do at the moment, but if you're outdoors it will go quite quickly. You will see that bar fill up, and then it will turn green as soon as it has connected with the GPS system. There you go. Just beneath that bar, it tells you what type of GPS connection it's got. It's GPS only, or all systems, or whatever, multiband, whatever you chose this activity to connect at. Underneath that will be your heart rate. It's not connected to my heart rate at the moment. It's flashing because it's not on my wrist and I'm not wearing a heart rate monitor. Now we want to start our activity. So you start the activity by pressing the start menu and you start running. There we have started. And now we go to our first data screen. You set up your data screen separately. I will have a different video on all the settings of the activities. You can have multiple amounts of data screens that you can scroll through with your up and down button here. I've only got on this activity, only got 2 data screens, that and the map. You can also set up what data is shown on each screen by yourself, or however you want it. If you're done with an activity or you want to pause it, you press the start button. It will take you firstly to the pause menu. Now the watch will stay in this pause menu for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, it will save this activity automatically. While you're in this pause menu, you might choose to be here to quickly take a drink or to fix your bicycle if you're cycling or so. And if you're ready to resume the activity, you just select the resume option there, and it will resume your activity again from where you stopped. The next option on our pause menu is the save button. So if you select that option, the data for that activity will be saved on your watch for you to go look at later on. It also means that you are done with the activity. Next option there is resume later. Resume later is if you're going to resume this activity a lot later than in the next couple of minutes. If you press it, it will go back to your watch face and you can do a couple of other things with your watch. You can go check your compass or some of your data. What you cannot do while an activity is paused is start another activity. Now this pause activity is quite handy for if you were, for instance, hiking or so and you stop and you want to make lunch. It turns off the GPS, so it does not use that much battery power. To start the activity again, you just press the start button. It will take you to that activity screen and you just press the start button again to start back up where you left off. Second option on our pause menu is our lap button. So let's say you're running laps on a track and you go past where you start again. You stop your watch because you know you're going to take a sip of water or you're going to make some notes on a paper or whatever. and you record your lap. This lap recording will record the lap where you stopped your watch, and it will not continue the run. You will have to manually resume the run. If you just want to record a lap while you are running, so you're not going to stop, then you can press the lap button while the activity is busy. So you just press a lap button and it will record a lap without stopping the activity. The next option on our pause menu is back to start. Back to start is handy if you do not know where you are. For instance, you started your activity and you ran into the mountain, or you run in on a city that you do not know, and you want to get back to where you started. This function works on any activity that uses a GPS. It obviously does not work on something like strength training. When you select back to start, you will be given two options, either trackback or route. Trackback will take you back to where you started on exactly the same route as you took to get there. So for instance, if you were heading north and you turned left and you turned left again to go south, that is where you are now. If you use trackback, trackback will tell you to go north, turn right again and go south, and then you will be back to where you started. The route option will depend on settings on your watch. It will either take you back to where you started in a straight line without deviations, so just like a straight line from, if you started here, you move like this and you go back there, the route function will take you straight to where you were, to where you started. That's the one thing it could do. The other one is also that it can take you back on known routes, not necessarily the route you took to get there, but other known routes that is loaded onto your map. Next option here is our recovery heart rate. The recovery heart rate will start a 2-minute timer. It will end the activity and it will take your heart rate then, and it will take your heart rate again after 2 minutes, so that you can compare those two heart rate amounts if that is something that you are interested in. The last option is discard. If you press the discard button, then as far as your watch is concerned, you never did this activity. So we will do that now because we don't want to record anything because we didn't do anything. Now let us do a multi-sport activity such as a triathlon. I've created a custom activity that combines running, cycling and kayaking. So let's go to that. It's here at the bottom. So I'm going to choose my multi-sport activity by pressing the start button. Again, the same at the top, we will see the amount of time we've got left on the battery to do this activity, and you'll see the GPS bar, which you need to wait for to go full before you can start the activity. Now this activity combines running, mountain biking and kayaking. So if we are at the start, we're going to press the start button when the gun goes off and we start running. Okay, so in this case we run first. So as I run the entire course, you will enter a transition area where you need to transition from running to whatever the next discipline is. In this case it is cycling. So as you approach the transition zone and you enter it, you will press your lap button. Now we are inside the transition zone. There you will get your bicycle, you will change your shoes, you will get your helmet on and so on, and you will go to the beginning of where the bikes start, and as soon as you cross that line, you will press your start button again to, your lap button to go out of the transition area, and we'll start recording our bike ride. Okay, so now you're cycling and you're doing the whole course, and as you approach the transition zone to get ready to take to the water, you press the lap button again as you go into that transition zone. There's a second transition, which will be the last one. So now you take your shoes off, you put other shoes on again, take your helmet off, put your mountain bike away, get the kayak, get on the water, and just as you are about to start rowing, you're going to press the lab button again to start recording your kayaking session. Okay, you will notice as well that all the workout screens are different. You can set that in the settings. It will be for a different video. Now again, when we are done with the whole thing, now we're done with kayaking, so we've done the running, we've done the cycling, done the kayaking, press start button to stop the complete activity. And there we've got our options again. We can just resume, we can save it, we can resume it later, we can go back to the start, recovery HR, and then discard, which is what we're going to do because we actually didn't go anywhere. Okay, let's take a look at the activity overview on Garmin Connect. You select your watch by either at the top watch photo or on the three dots at the bottom right. I'm going to use the three dots at the bottom right. Takes you to exactly the same place. We're going to scroll up. We're going to choose Garmin device. And then you will see all your devices connected to this phone. So I will choose my Fenix 7 Pro. And then I've got the activities and app option over there. Once I select that, sometimes there is a bug, sometimes it doesn't work so nicely. Now I've got all my activities here. At the top part, we've got our favorites, and then we've got this divider in the middle, and we've got our normal ones here at the bottom, or the ones that's not our favorites. Again, these are the only ones you can use on your watch. You can add other ones from the add button. Now, if we want to change the order of them that they are here, we just at the top right, we've got the edit option. We press that. Now on the right hand side, these little two lines, we can click and hold that and move the item around in that section. You cannot move it to another section. You can see the ones here at the bottom. We can also select, hold it, and move it around. If we want to move the activities from one section to another, here at the top, we just press the red minus button, and we'll take our bike activity down to the normal section. If you want to add an activity at the bottom to your favorites, you just press the blue plus button, and it will be here now again at our favorites. Now I can move it to run normal. Let's go back out. On this phone that I do the recordings on, there's a bug where you cannot add any more activities, but it does work on my Samsung S22. It does not work on this A52. I think this is an A52. Let me just try it. This error comes up every time, but it does work on my S22. So you will just go to that section to add an activity to your watch. Now, if I long press on, if I press on one of the activities, so let's say for instance bike, if I press on that, I will have all the settings I can change here, which I can also change on my watch if I want to. It's just a lot easier to do it on your phone. All these settings can be done. You can rename the activity just as you can on your watch. And then on the top right, we've got this 3 circle button. To press that, you can remove the activity from the list. It will go back to the other activities that you need to add back on to be able to use them. You can also copy the activity. If you want to copy activity, what it does is it makes an exact copy of that activity, and then you can edit one of the two if you've just got some small changes that you want to make on it and you don't want to change the settings every time before you do the activity. If there's an activity that you actually created yourself, for instance, Zone 2 running, I created myself. If I select that, on the top right menu, there will be another option here to delete from device that will remove the activity completely from your device. And if you want to have Zone 2 again, you will have to set it up again. To add and move activities around and change the settings is a lot easier in Garmin Connect than it is on the watch, but both of them are possible. Thanks for watching.